Welcome. Um, New series, Ugly Talk. I'm going to be talking about the things that not many people like talking about. Try to shed a light on it and show, and try to just give my opinion on it. Like I just said, it's my opinion. I'm, uh, you can dog on me all you want. It's my opinion. While I'm streaming, if you got any questions or anything, I'll be trying to answer them. Like I said, I will be playing game. Well, I didn't say that, but in the background, I will be playing games. So I'm going to be trying to focus more on talking about my opinion on this. So, Second Amendment, really big thing right now. I mean, I think the whole country is basically split on the opinion on the Second Amendment about, oh, all guns should be banned, or these type of guns should be banned. You name it, people are sitting there talking about it. But I've got other plans for other other parts. So any controversial topic. So why am I blanking so hard right now? So presidential stuff. I don't really want to get into that, but if it comes to that, I will get to that. Genders, transgenders, basically anything controversial. I mean, I'll have to do my research on most of it so I can get some facts on it. I don't want to just sit here and spit out false facts. But the Second Amendment, this is what this one's for. So, my opinion on the Second Amendment, I know everyone has their own. My opinion on it is, I agree with the Founding Fathers. Shouldn't be infringed. Everyone should at least own one weapon for self-defense. Now, when it comes to owning one and it's illegal, and you're owning it illegally, and you have malintentions with it, yeah, that's when I think you shouldn't have one. So, if you've been caught with like a stolen firearm or something at one point, and you've done something horrible with it, and it's gotten you in trouble, and you just got a felony or something from, let's say it was assault or something. You did assault on battery or just plain out assault. I don't think you should own one, because that will increase your flags on it, on owning a firearm, because you'll be more likely to assault someone with that. So, that's my opinion on people that shouldn't be owning it. Like, me personally, I own my own firearm. It's a AR. Most people think that stands for assault rifle. The actual original meaning for that is Armalite. This assault rifle word just came into rotation a few years back when everyone started getting butthurt about everyone with rifles and everything. So, Armalite was the first company to make the first rifle. Well, AR-styled rifle, not the first rifle. There's been hunting rifles and everything before that. But they were the first one to make the AR-15 styled rifle. So they basically got a branding on it. So just to get that common misconception out of the air, AR means armor light, not assault rifle. That's what the anti-gun politicians try to say it means. Assault rifle. To get that negative connotation on it. Assault. Whenever you think of assault, you think of hurting people or causing bodily harm. So, me personally, like I said, I own a AR. And these things about high cap mags and all this, they're saying 30 caliber mags or whatever, 30 clip mags. None of that is true. Yeah, there's 30 rounds in a mag, but 30 caliber mags, that doesn't really make sense. And stripper clips are from older styled rifles. So if you look at like an older bolt action rifle, it would always load from the top and would have a little clip on it that would hold the bullets in. You push the rounds down in, the clip would stay up. Once you go to close the bolt, that clip would fly out and disconnect, or you would just pull the clip off and throw it out. Now, with ARs, they've got a mag. So, what you see my guy holding on the game, it's got a mag. It has 30 rounds in it. That's about every civilian AR. In real life, civilian ARs are semi-automatic. Unlike everyone thinking they're fully automatic. Semi-automatic means every function of the trigger it shoots once. So you pull the trigger, it shoots. That's one function. And you have to let go of it for the trigger to reset to basically rearm the gun. To reset the trigger mechanism. So it could drop the hammer again on the firing pin, striking the primer on the round, shooting off the round. Now, everyone says it's the gun that kills. I've got a shotgun literally 15 feet away from me. Hey, shotgun, go kill someone. It doesn't move. It's an inanimate object. There's no way that it can kill someone. It has to have some sort of influence from a person or a living organism to actually turn the safety off, pull the trigger, which then releases the bullet, or pellets, or projectile, whatever the term is. So, that is what is needed to actually make something kill, or a rifle or shotgun or a pistol shoot. So it needs someone influencing it to shoot. And then if the person kills someone with a gun, the person kills them, not the gun. That's why the person goes to jail, not the gun. There's so much difference than what everyone tries to tell the civilians. So we need to be more cautious about our politics, trying to say, oh, it's always the gun that kills, when it's the exact opposite. It's the person behind the gun killing. Gosh. But, most people just don't really care about other people's opinions, which happens, and I don't know why I went on that topic. But, there's a lot of people that agree with me, and there won't be many that will, well, I don't know what people's opinions will be, but I think Second Amendment is needed. Shouldn't be infringed like all these politics are trying to do. It's needed for, like, right now, our world or our country's collapsing. The USA is collapsing because of this whole coronavirus. Now, with that happening, when states go into lockdown, martial law will kick in. Now, from my understanding, I'm not 100% sure. That means basically anyone can really do anything. I'm not really 100% sure how that works, but basically, from my understanding, it sounds like there won't be like any first responders or anything. So you need to take matters basically in your own hands. If someone's trying to attack you at your home or in public, you need some way to defend yourself. So what way better than a gun of some sorts? So most people that are of age to do this, concealed carry or open carry, they will. Me, from my understanding, I'm of age. I can open carry, but I'm not 100% sure on the law on that. I'm of age to where I can own my own long guns, and I do. But most people just have the misconception. Whenever someone owns a gun, they have malintentions to hurt someone. When most people don't. Most people that own firearms and are out in public are either law enforcement, ex-law enforcement, or military and vets. So, I don't really know many people that would just hurt people with firearms for no reason. That's how most people see people that have firearms. But me personally, if I'm sitting here at home and I'm minding my own business like I am now, and I just have someone break into my house and they have bad intentions and they're threatening my life. Yeah, if I have something to protect my life with, I'm going to use it. I will sit here and shoot the guy if he's charging me or planning on anything on anyone else in my family. So my dad, my sister was still living in at my house. I would protect her. I would protect my little nephew. Anyone that was living here, I would protect them. I don't really care. But when it comes to being out in public with a firearm, that's when things get tricky. You could get yourself printed. And if you don't know what that means if you're carrying conceal, you have like a little aura around you, I would say, that basically shows, hey, I'm carrying. And not many people realize that. Just the people that really know what they're looking for can tell. And if you look in the right spots, you'll see like an outline of a handgun or whatever. But most people don't really pay attention to that stuff. And when it comes to people illegally owning firearms, that's when I don't agree with it. So, if you got in trouble when you were young or with firearms in the past, I don't think you should own firearms. Now, most of these, like, higher ranked rappers, I don't really know what to use for the term. you will see them like flashing guns at the camera. Close enough you can see their serial number. And you could run those serial numbers if you know how to. I bet half of them will come up stolen. I bet half of them will come up stolen, and I don't really know how that would work out if law enforcement gets into that situation, but there's a lot of people with illegal firearms out there. You can own, now there's also this common misconception. Most people don't really know, but you can own fully automatic firearms. You need like certain license or permissions or something. I'm not really 100% sure on how to do that, but they're more of a, most people that have fully automatic firearms know what they're dealing with and have like some sort of prior background military experience or police or SWAT, those type of experiences. So they really, it's not that they have an excuse for it, it's just that they like having fun with guns. They'll bring you to the range, an outdoor range, bring you to their land, and go out and shoot. I mean, that would be something I would do. That sounds fun to me. And I would love to be able to own a fully automatic firearm. Now, when it comes to black market rifles or whatever, black market firearms, I don't really know how that exactly works, but I don't really know how exactly they work. That works. I've never really looked into it, and I don't ever really planning on wanting to own fully legal weapons like I do currently, but because when I turn 21, I want to go into law enforcement. It's always been something I wanted to do. I always wanted to go military, but I was held out because of skin condition I have. But now when it comes to all this police violence, that's just a load of bullcrap. Yeah, there might be one or two cases where the police were in the wrong, but that is not often at all. If you were seeing most of the body cam footage or footage of it, most civilian footage cuts off the main part of the video, preventing them from showing the main reason the person got hurt in the first place or shot. Because most people don't really think. They will sit there and attack the cops, and the cops have like cops are trained to think fast, and so most of them will go to their sidearm, their service weapon, and shoot at the person. Not all might hit, but that's what they're trained to do, and they're trying to keep a certain distance away from the suspect, so that way they can have that reaction time if they need to draw their gun and shoot some rounds. And when it comes to non-lethal shots, so most people think, oh, just shoot them in the leg, or shoot them somewhere that's non-vital. Those are really small targets. Like shooting them in the leg, that has the main artery in your leg. You have a main artery in your leg that still can kill someone. Now, whenever a cop pulls out their service weapon and they have to shoot off rounds, they're normally going to shoot to kill with their service weapon. Because normally every other form of non-lethal at that point won't really help. So, a taser. Tasers don't always work like people think. Tasers will sit there, and if they have more than like one layer, it could get stuck on the first layer of clothing and won't even zap the person. If a person's on some like PCP, some hardcore drugs or something, they can just blow off the shock that's in their body. Mace. Mace, you can still fight, and if the person's got like some sort of firearm and he maces them, you just basically put a whole flight risk on everyone. Because the person might just start shooting off rounds, not even knowing what he's shooting at. You're going to be shooting at random civilians minding their own business in a coffee shop. Shooting at oncoming traffic. You don't know what could happen with that. And mace is normally only used on suspects that don't really have weapons, but refuse to basically stand down. So they'll mace them, basically make them blind for the time being, tackle them and put them in cuffs, and then try to get the mace out of their eyes and whatnot. But when it comes to the firearm sides, I'd say 99% of the times, it's I see the reason why they use their firearms in that scenario. Now, if you watch another YouTuber called Donut Operator, he does a lot of these shooting breakdowns, and you can see basically every camera angle of the scenario that went down. So that way you can tell what happened, or see what happened, so you know the full story. Because whenever a cop gets out of the car, they should be turning on their body cam so that the whole interaction and everything can get recorded. So that way they don't get in as much legal trouble. So if something were to go bad in the confrontation, and most people that record things with law enforcement, they start recording late to make the cops look bad and make the person that they're interacting with look good. I'm not saying that that's always the case. There's sometimes that the person that's getting interacted with is on the good side of the spectrum, but that's not always the case. Because most of the time when we see something, it's just someone that assaulted, and then they turn the camera on a minute or two later after the cops put hands on the guy trying to detain him or something. And they start yelling at the cop, what did that young boy do, or what did that young girl do, what did that white guy do, whatever. And they'll just make it seem like they're the good guy when it's actually reverse. But yeah, wow, I went on a completely different subject. Firearms. But most people try to get firearms. I mean, back on the original subject I was trying to talk about. I went on a whole rant about law enforcement and whatnot. But in my opinion, firearms are really needed because, like right now with this crisis that our states or country are going through with martial law and all this, we need some way to protect ourselves if law enforcement or some can't respond in time. We need to protect ourselves from anything that might happen. So that way we don't have to rely on other people to get to us in time. Alright, sorry about that. Needed to sneeze. But it's needed so we can protect ourselves. Now, when it comes to the people that are liberal, they think, oh, all you need is, I don't know, a dildo to protect yourself. I have no clue what they use to protect themselves whenever they get in a little confrontation. I don't know. That's why I imagine seeing some liberal using whenever they try to get robbed, they just pull out a dildo out of their bag or something and try to hit the dude with it. I have no clue what they use. That's just what I think they use. Now you can get mad at me for that, but that's my opinion. Like I said, it might not be right, but most likely ain't right. If it is, I'd be surprised. But I seriously think people need to own weapons to protect themselves and protect their family and their household, because it's necessary for people. Now all these law officials saying, like, I don't know, Nancy Pelosi and Clinton's and all this, trying to talk down on gun owners and making it seem like that all weapons are bad, no one should own them at all, and all this. That's a full malarkey. I think people should be owning firearms if they're in the right mental state, if they haven't had any prior federal, what is the term I'm looking for? I don't know what the term I'm looking for. I know the term, I just can't think of it right now. If they haven't done anything violently wrong, I think they should be allowed to own a firearm. Now, I know there's a lot of flight risk with that, but if they're in the right mental state and they're not going to hurt anyone, I mean, it's really hard to tell that they're not going to hurt anyone with that weapon, but I don't know. I think it comes down to the background check and all that. That's another huge misconception, that there's no background checks. There is. It might not take long for it to happen, but you have to fill out the thing. It's like, I think I remember it being a 2-sheet paper for a rifle. Now, for that, you fill out all the information at once, sign it, and then the dealer calls up the FBI, giving them all your information and everything. And if you haven't got any federal trouble, or you're not, or you're allowed to own one, you'll clear of that easily. And that's like a 5-minute process. You pay the weapon, you pay the person for the weapon, you walk out. Alright. So, and you just got a long gun in 5 minutes. That's literally all you need, is a license and the money. You just need a personal license to walk in, and the money to buy the weapon. And then fill out the paperwork. They call the FBI up, get the background check, and if you're good, you walk out with it. Now, the thing is, if you're a felon, and you have a felony and you go to try to purchase a firearm, that is another felony on your record. That will get you in trouble. And they would have to call law enforcement on you. Like, they would go in the back of their shop and have to call up the law. And then you'll get arrested because you're trying to purchase a firearm while you're a felon, which is against the law. Now, some of y'all might be asking how I know that. I worked at a pawn shop for a little bit. I'm not saying I know all about it, but they told me if someone that is a felon trying to purchase a firearm, that is what will happen. They will go in the back of the store, call 911 saying, hey, we've got someone here that's a felon trying to buy a firearm. Alright. Law enforcement shows up, slap a pretty new pair of shiny bracelets on the guy, and bring him down to the jailhouse. Get him printed in ID'd and all that. And I don't know what will happen from there. But now when it comes to handguns and whatnot, there are several more things you gotta do. You either gotta get a purchase permit, which could be several months. I don't really know how long you've gotta wait for them. But you go and get in contact with a law enforcement officer. Say, hey, I'd like to get a purchase permit for a handgun. Alright, you could do some paperwork, turn it into them, and I think it might be a few weeks and you'll get your purchase permits in the mail. Now, there's another way you can get your concealed carry license, which is basically an ultimate purchase permit. You can buy as many firearms as you want with that, basically.
Get kills with each
And if I'm not mistaken, if you have that, that counts as your background check as well. Because I don't see why they would need to do a background check on you if you've got that. You can walk in, give them that instead of a purchase permit, your concealed carry license, and the money, and you'll fill out the paperwork still and everything, and walk out with your gun that day. If I'm not mistaken, they'll still turn it into the officials, and if it's a bad permit or concealed carry license, they'll come and confiscate the weapon. But like I said, I'm still not 100% sure on how that works. But with the purchase permit, you give them one, you fill out the paperwork, they still call up the feds, and they'll get your background check and whatnot, and go from there. Um, so a lot of people think it's really easy to get firearms, handguns, rifles, when it's much harder than everyone thinks. Much, much harder. But, like I said, this is just my opinion on this stuff. I think all firearms should be legal. But when it comes to fully automatic, only select a few people that have, like, the proper licensing and all that shown. Not just anyone could go to the store and buy one. Because a lot of people will have bad intentions for stuff like that. Like I said, this is my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it how you want to. If you don't want to be butthurt about it or agree with me, go for it. If you got any questions or anything, put in the comments below. I'll try to get to it. Shed my light on it. I'll try to do another one of these in a week. Might be a little bit more than a week. I just don't know when the next time I'll do it. I don't know what that topic will be about. So if y'all want to give me a topic in the comments, I'll be looking at those and reading them. So that way I know what y'all think of these topics, and if y'all disagree or whatnot, I can hear y'all's opinions, but I just want to hear it. So, I'm thinking about doing all this, doing next one on this gender subject and whatnot, but if y'all liked and everything, liked and enjoyed the video, hit the comment, put a comment down below, hit the like, hit the sub. I just want to see what y'all think. And I want to see some friendly discussions down below. I just want to see other people's opinions and hear them. Like, I'm open for discussions as well. Like I said, if y'all enjoyed and liked the video, subscribe, hit the like button, or the dislike button if you hated it, and leave a hate comment or leave your opinion down below in the comment section. Hope y'all have a great day and stay safe out there.